Hey guys, how are you all doing? Now, this video is going to be my full in-depth tutorial on steel wool spinning. Now, the first thing you're going to need is the steel wool. Now, the steel wool you can buy at most Bunnings and other hardware stores, and this type of steel wool you want to buy is not the type of steel wool that you use in your sink, that really thick stuff. You want this stuff here, this super fine or grade 000. It's a weird system how they grade how thin it is, but you want the super fine stuff. Now, I buy these big rolls of it, and here you go, look at it. All those makeup guru beauty people do it like this, and it pretty much just comes off in a roll. Take an end, and you can unroll it like so. So once you've got your steel wool, what you're going to need is something to hold it in while you spin it around. And I use a balloon whisk, or a parachute whisk, or whatever you want to call this. It's one of those whisks that has got this oval shaped end. Now, if you notice here on the handle, I've just taped it up, that's nothing special. I've drilled a hole through the handle here, and I've put in a string. The string then leads a bit longer than it needs to be, but it needs to be about 1 meter to 2 meters long. And this allows you to do very small ones, very small spins, to very large spins. Of course, I don't have enough space in here, need a much more open environment. Now, before I show you actually how to do it, I'm going to show you what I use to take the photos and also some safety equipment. This is my safety equipment. It's a glove. This is a cut on my finger. It was a lot worse before. What it was to start off with was simply a rope burn, and it dug quite deep into my finger because as you're spinning this, it heats up and it can hurt your hand quite badly. So I recommend getting a glove, a gardening glove. This is my mountain biking glove. Simply slip it on and it will protect your fingers as you're spinning it around. Disclaimer, I am not responsible for anything you do pertaining to what I show in this video. It's purely for entertainment purposes. Covers it. Now, I'm shooting on my 700D, which allows me to shoot in bulb mode. Now, bulb mode pretty much means that it will take a photo as long as I'm holding down the button. But as you can imagine, I can't really sit there and hold the button as I'm doing something else. So I have this little thing here, which is called a remote shutter. Pretty much, it's a button. That's it, it's a button. But it also means I can push down it and I can lock it like that, which means it just holds down the button for me. That's pretty much all that does. Of course, if you have someone else to take the photo for you, you can do that. I prefer this because I have no friends and I have to do this by myself. So I'm going to quickly show you setup, and then I'm going to show you it in action. So to set up, you want to take your whisk. You want to take a length of your steel wool. Now, you don't want to use too much, otherwise it gets way too packed inside the balloon and not enough sparks fly. But you don't want to use too little, otherwise you won't create enough sparks. So I use a section about this long normally. That's about a foot long, 12 inches, 30 centimeters, about that. Now, once you've got this, you want to sort of open it up, air it out a bit, sort of stretch it apart so all the bits are away from each other. Sort of bundle it up into a ball. Take your whisk and shove it in there. And that's it, easy as. Try to keep it all in the middle. Try not to get it spread out. Just keep it nice and centered, like so. Now, there are two ways of lighting your steel wool on fire. The first is with a lighter. It's very simple, very reliable, very easy to do, and it's not very dangerous carrying around a lighter in your pocket with steel wool in your bag. If the two touch, they won't start a fire. But there's another very fun way to start your steel wool on fire, and it is using 9-volt batteries. Now, these create a small electronic charge enough to light one strand of steel wool on fire, and then the fire continues and spreads across the whole steel wool. So it's kind of more scientific and much more interesting. However, sometimes it can just be easier to use your lighter. Now, let me show you what happens when you put this on fire and how you need to spin it. Now, most of you, I assume, are not that interested in me going through for a few minutes talking about camera placing and where you should put your camera. Okay, maybe I'll ramble for like 3 seconds. Number one, keep the camera low so the sparks can fly over the camera, or keep it directly side on to where you are. That's all I need to say. When steel wool spinning, it is advisable to try keep the steel wool spinning in the same direction, in the same circle. That is, if you're trying to spin it above your head, don't try to spin it to your side or in front of you halfway through the wool. For the best photos, start the wool and start spinning in the exact same place, in the exact same direction. Don't stop until the shutter has closed, and then you can safely lower the steel wool without it affecting the photo. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I got up at 3 AM this morning to come out and do steel wool spinning, and I'll tell you what, it was a blast. So if you can smash a like, hit the subscribe button, and of course, I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye.